What's up, citizens of Gotham? My name is Graham Elwood. You are watching and listening to the Political Vigilante live on Tuesday, December 8th, a little after 8 o'clock Pacific time. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Many of you just came over from the Jimmy Dore show. Let's get that hair tweaked in. Perfect. And thank you to everybody watching over on Rockfin and Facebook Live. We have 214 people watching, 89 likes. Great way to support the show is do what Snork Y2K did. Hit the dollar icon button, folks. You can support the show. Don't forget class tomorrow. Details in Patreon. Yes, I am speaking to Mitch's class tomorrow. Which I've spoken to another class. It's like, it's cool. People are asking me to speak to their classes. It's like, I didn't, right after my college professor father passed away in September, I was asked to teach these, or not teach, but talk in these classes. So I don't know. I think he'd be proud that I was talking to college kids. So I do need some intro music. I don't quite know how to do that. I got to find some like unlicensed music that YouTube allows to just have music playing. That would be cool. I got to do that. So I will make sure I have that on my calendar, Mitch. Yeah, at 11 a.m., right? Boom, 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 boom. $900 billion stimulus. Oh, I know. Kale is good for the vegan guns. You got that right. As Kate is a whistleblower that this channel is bought by Big Kale. She's a whistleblower. Big Kale whistleblower. Can we get a group hug going for India? I hope they destroy the capitalists and give us the map. Absolutely. What happened in India was huge, is happening. 250 million people, the largest protest in the history of the world. We could do that. Boom. You just put this on the Twitter, tweet this out, hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen, share this on your social media, get some people joining us. Welcome. Boom, 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 boom. 265 watching, 123 people on the like button. Kate is our moderator, ladies and gentlemen. Kale stalks help with digestion. See? That's the kind of propaganda that Big Kale pushes on this show. We're bought and paid for by Big Kale. Congress is worthless. Why would you say that? They're doing such great work. Don't be such a stick in the mud. Give it time. Don't pressure them. They're awful. Yeah, total media blackout on India. They've been doing this about the protests in Central America and Central and South America. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But it's unbelievable. Oh yeah, you better buckle up for some segments. Did India just poison a village to scare protesters to go home? Maybe. I don't know. Good Lord. Republicans are saying they will give us $600 direct payments as long as they can offer less enhanced unemployment. Merry Christmas in the dumbest country ever. Yeah, not much talk about the French strike either. Just join. What was that? Kale is the moderator. Kate is our moderator. Big Kale is what funds me. I'm bought and paid for by Big Kale. I sold out to them a long time ago, man. I don't give a shit. They took me on Kale Force One down to Bermuda. Just gave me vegan smoothies and big paychecks. And I said, I'll do it. I'll say whatever you want me to say, man. I don't care. Twitter guy said the Indian strike was against the small farmers and organized by large farm cooperatives. Oh, I haven't heard that. That's not what I heard. I don't know. I need some kale schmony. You got that right. Yeah, the Mossad commander got killed. God, there's so much to talk about. Yeah. Does kale need meal models? Canadian Socialist government in the province has announced a $1,000 payment for December. Yep. I need some kale. LJL, what's up? Hello, everybody in the chat. Truth to Tweet, Sweet Luke, Car 99. A lot of people. Sammy Dean. Graham, why did the chicken go to the seance? To get to the other side. Come on, Sammy Dean. 309 people watching. Hit that like button, folks. If there's one thing you do in this life, hit the like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Having Jimmy on the show yesterday was great. We picked up 100 some subscribers. They have been unsubscribing us. We have lost like almost 1,000 subscribers in the last month. So, who's calling me? This phone call I cannot take. I thought maybe it was might be a call right from Big Kale saying, Graham, make a salad right now. Stop the yap about the politics and push the salads. Stop the yap. That's how they talk. I'm going to hit dislike right now. You're mean. Canadians have been getting $2,000 a month since March. Anyway. Wow. Either way, the folks in India are showing how to engage in an impressive general strike. That's the key. 163 likes. Let's get the likes up to 200, ladies and gentlemen. Independent Left News, welcome. Over on the Rockfin, of course, Rockfin has now added a feature where you can tip, which I will answer your questions if you do a tip in Rockfin or a super chat in the YouTube. I will answer your question. A lot of kale talk in this chat. Big Arugula is here. Uh-oh, I knew it. It's a kale-spiracy. Oh, snap. I just coined a new term. Power to the people, RP John Lennon. All right, let's do a segment. Chris Leone, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Graham, try Montega tea. Moringa tea. It has so many benefits. Okay, I'm not familiar with that tea, but I will. You got that. Cops are killing an average of 3 to 4 Americans daily. ISIS has killed a total of 4 Americans. Why don't we kill the Mao? Honestly, I'm asking. I don't know. I got to be careful what I say on that stuff. That's great and all, Graham, but do you know the thing? Kale MAGA, yes. Sam Dean, what's up down under, brother? I hope you're doing well. In the great city of Melbourne. Love Melbourne. Nobody's happy about Obama's drone strikes, but latest figures show that Trump has killed 330% more Afghani civilians with drones during his term. And it's not surprising. This is the never-ending war machine. Like, it just doesn't end. It just keeps getting. Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction. He's a war criminal. A million Iraqis died. He lied about that war. We've been in Afghanistan for 19 years. Obama comes in, drops more bombs than Bush. And then Trump comes in and just in his term, he drops more bombs than Obama did in his first term. And now Joe Biden's back and we think there's going to be a difference. I'm going to do a segment here in a little bit about his new Secretary of Defense. Oh, he's the first ever thing, the first ever black man, and the blah 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 blah. Raytheon, of course. It's nuts. Yeah, it's unbelievable. If Graham Elwood could, he could change his state's name to California. California, no doubt about it. California, no doubt about it. In the city of broccoli. Keep it rocking. Keep it rocking. Oh. That's not the words. And we were about Palmer raids 2020. Yeah, keep it Bitcoin. Kayla Flower. Welcome to the Hotel California. All right. What's up, Elizabeth Demery? I'm glad I'm looking good. Thank you so much. You like the vegan guns? Boom. Look at them. Tight, lean. It's a black t-shirt, but it's a dress up. I'm trying to dress up more for the show. It's hard for me to wear collared shirts. So this is more of a dress shirt. It's got these weird buttony things in here. So it's not just the black t-shirt with a superhero logo. I'm really trying to spice up the show, make it more fancy. All right, folks, we are at 189 likes. Let's hit the like button. Get it up over 200. Get it up. Benjamin Mishrahi, Barack Obama, drone striker in chief. I know. And then Trump's worse because it never ends. The war machine never ends. Okay. Have you looked into the Party for Socialism and Liberation yet? No, I think our two parties are fine. Graham is leveling up his wardrobe. The ladies notice these things. See? That's what we need. Get some more ladies on the show. More female viewers. That's what I'm trying. That's why Lee and I went open shirts on Government Secrets. All right, here's a segment. Baba beep boo. Just a little. There it is. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Truth rising up like a bat in a cave somewhere in the outskirts of Gotham City, underneath Wayne Manor. We are here. Pushing some truth, kids. So we've talked about last week, the general strike in India, 250 million people. There's been a lot of serious strikes and just flat out rejections of neoliberalism and all that. And of course, the corporate media in America, not barely covering it at all. So what a great way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, where Tim Stack, who's been supporting the show from day one, Tim Stack, longtime podcast fan. I met Tim at Podfest, and I really appreciate you supporting what I do here. Submitted this article. This came out in October, but it's relevant what happened in Central and South America because it's happening now in India. And why can't it happen here? All those protests over the summer, a lot of great stuff, but so This is back in October. In a stunning display of popular will, protests in Bolivia to Chile forced public reckoning of Chicago boy economics. Now, what happened in Chile? This is economics that went back to Pinochet. Now, this is something Lee and I talked about on Government Secrets. Again, another time the United States backed a brutal dictator in like 73, I think in Chile, 72, 73. We backed this brutal dictator who did horrific things. So it's all we do. But now that's finally getting rejected, right? So like Bolivia, the strength of public opinion in Chile was so immense that the government, led by Chile's richest man, immediately conceded. America, general strike. I don't know when do you want to do it? When do you want to do it? When are you ready? Congress is talking about the Republicans, Democrats giving us $600 and cutting. Unbelievable. Could have had a couple $1 trillion in stimulus, but Nancy Pelosi didn't want to give that to Trump before the election. So now both of these utterly corrupt, filthy parties are arguing over how Americans are going to get less. We had Thanksgiving 2 weeks ago, record demand from food banks all across the country. People waiting in line for hours just to get a Thanksgiving meal. 54 million Americans are food insecure. I mean, but that's what led up to all this in these other countries. And the reason our media doesn't cover it is the same reason they didn't cover the yellow vests in France for a year. They just tried to pass a law saying you couldn't videotape cops, and the people said, nope. They said, hell no. There was a lot of momentum coming over the summer, and then the NBA said, we're not going to play, and they didn't play for 3 days. The NBA, the WNBA, some Major League Baseball teams, and then Obama came in and said, go back to playing, and everybody went back to sleep. See how quickly and easily America's just, Obama said don't cause trouble, so we're going to go back to. The people of Chile have overwhelmingly chosen to discard their old constitution, which was written and implemented under the military dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. Do a little research on Pinochet. He was brutal. And it didn't take long, man. He got to power within like 2-3 months. They were executing people in soccer stadiums and torturing people. They went after the journalists. They went after the artists. They went after the activists. That's what they did. Here's just from Twitter. Massive celebrations in Chile after 78% of the people voted in support of rewriting the country's Pinochet-era constitution. This was back in October 26th. 78% of the country. Where do we have numbers like that in America? Oh, Medicare for all. You think you're going to vote for Joe Biden, and look at Joe Biden stacking his cabinet full of corporate people, Wall Street, oil lobby people, military warmongers. Unbelievable. Flat out Republicans. That's Biden's cabinet. And they're just giving all these identity politics. Oh, the first woman this, the first person of color that, but they're still awful. They're still awful people. So the people in Chile said, no, we want to rewrite our constitution. You get in the streets like this, you get to rewrite your constitution. You vote for the lesser of two evils, you get a big bag of dog shit. They'll let you have a party on Saturday, jump in the streets and celebrate. Joe Biden got named president that Saturday after the election, and then go back to bed, go back to sleep. Maybe we'll give you $600. So America, let me tell you something. There are 19 million evictions that are going to happen January 1st. In California, there's eviction. The eviction courts are crowded, and people are getting COVID there. So they're shutting down restaurants. You can't even eat outside in most of California, especially LA and San Francisco, the big cities. You can't eat outside. If you have an outdoor restaurant, follow all the rules, social distancing, they've shut you down and you can't earn money. But we can keep the eviction courts open in California, where there's a high rate of COVID. People are going to eviction court, trying not to get evicted during a pandemic. And then the pandemic is being transmitted at a higher rate. I watch this country every day and I'm just like, is this really happening? When are people going to wake up? The 1980 Constitution was largely written by Pinochet advisor Jaime Guzman and enshrined into law the neoliberal ideas of American economist Milton Friedman and his team of Chicago boy economists who dictated the country's economic policy for decades. And let us not forget the good old CIA. It's almost like what's been happening the last couple of years, but it's been really exposed during the pandemic, is the decades of neoliberal policies that people all over the world are done with. I mean, we've seen protests in a dozen countries where people are, it's always the same. The specifics are a little different, but each country is very similar. We're tired of the powerful people. They have everything. They cut back these services or this, they raise the transportation costs of, the buses or whatever. And people are just like, we're done. We're done. And you can't sit there and say, well, COVID, when there's billionaires making record profits during this pandemic. Your unemployment's going to end December 26th, and you're probably going to get evicted January 1st, but Walmart's doing great. Amazon's doing great. The billionaires are doing great. The banks, they got $4.25 trillion in the CARES Act. So they're good. They're good. Nancy Pelosi is going to go on another vacation, going to eat some high-end ice cream. She doesn't give a shit about you. Neither does Chuck Schumer. Neither does Mitch McConnell. Neither does Lindsey Graham. None of these people give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. They didn't give a damn about the people of Chile, and the people of Chile said, sorry. 78% after what happened the month prior in Bolivia. The historic vote comes just days after another overwhelmingly progressive electoral victory in Bolivia, where citizens rejected the conservative Inez administration, who came to power in November in a U.S.-backed military coup. Gee, have we ever talked about that before on this show? Every episode of Government Secrets, please listen to that. I have a Government Secrets playlist on YouTube. If you like listening to it, it's a podcast on iTunes and Spotify. It's Lee Camp and I. I love doing it. And that's all we talk about is all the awful crap America has done over the years. Yeah. Government-backed coup. That's what we do. We can't feed our own citizens. We have contaminated water in 1,000 cities. We have an opioid epidemic. We have an obesity epidemic. We have people dying because they don't have health care, but we can't. Well, how are you going to pay for Medicare for all? But we always got money for a coup. We always got money for bombs and a coup. Yesterday, Bolivia. Today, Chile. Tomorrow, Ecuador. It's possible for popular movements to win. Latin America has shown that numerous times in the past 20 years, remarked Ole Vargas, who covered the events in Bolivia for Mint Press News. This article I got out of the Mint Press News by Tim Stack sent it to us. So they're waking up in Central and South America. When is America going to wake up? Protests against greed and inequality are spreading like wildfire through Latin America. Maybe that's why Trump built the wall. He didn't want revolution coming across the borders. You can protest a little bit, you can, all right, we'll put Black Lives Matter on the jerseys of major sports teams. We'll put Black Lives Matters on the stadium floor or whatever. Okay. We'll just do that for a little bit over the summer and then everyone's back to sleep. We're watching football. We're not going to shut anything down. Yeah. Chileans have voted to bury Pinochet's constitution. The road to a more just Chile will be long and hard, but the people's uprising that began just over years ago must continue until the deep injustices that brutalized Chileans are addressed. Delighted. Bolivia, Chile, now India, France. We started it over the summer, guys. We started over the summer during the George Floyd protest. People were really pissed off. They were in the streets. You got to realize that this is we are in class warfare. I'm not saying that there isn't systemic racism. Obviously that's there, but keep going. That's what I was saying during the George, like, keep going. This is class warfare. And neither Republicans or Democrats give a shit about you. Trump doesn't give a damn about you. Biden doesn't give a damn. Kamala Harris, none of them give a damn about you. They don't give a damn. The people of Chile woke up to that. The people of Bolivia woke up to that. We have to reject this awful neoliberal policies. Congress just voted to approve a $780 million war budget, while people are facing and already getting evicted. There was no rent relief in the CARES Act. They should have just paid your rent. It's paid. It's done. There's no rent relief. There's no mortgage relief. There's no nothing. Tom Brady bought a yacht, though. I did a video on that. Check that out. Tom Brady got $960,000, got a PPP loan, and he bought a yacht. The rich really got their fingers. The rich are really, they're just they're like they're crazy. Like Marie Antoinette, I was like, no one could be that out of touch. Let them eat cake. No one could be that out of touch. Really? She was so out of touch, they put guillotines out. Is that what it's going to take again? I'm all for nonviolence. I'm peaceful, nonviolent resistance, but the wealthy, I don't know what they realize what they're doing. It's going to take a general strike. We got to do what they're doing in India, what they've been doing, what they did in France for a year, what they did in Chile and Bolivia. We can't, all Americans, it's not red state, blue state. They want us divided with that crap. They want us divided, fighting with each other. Oh, Trump versus Biden, all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter. They want us fighting with each other. Because if we unify, then this happens. And that's why they don't cover this story. There's no coverage of what is happening in India. 250 million people going on strike. That's almost 25% of the population. Imagine if 60, 70 million Americans went nope and walked. Shut it down. Here's what we got now.
Happy Thanksgiving.
On a Thanksgiving made tougher by keeping many families apart, those who made it here faced a more pressing need.
This year, I mean, we've been holiday level busy since March.
Nationwide, 54 million Americans don't have access to sufficient food. In Texas, the long lines tell a story not lost on fifth grader Orion Jean, who organized a campaign to donate 100,000 meals by Thanksgiving.
Looking at all of the people that don't have jobs or don't have access to things like food and clothes and all of these essential things that we sometimes take for granted on Thanksgiving Day. Really sad, because one of the most memorable parts about Thanksgiving is the Thanksgiving meal. So knowing that I can help in just the smallest way makes me want to.
At the Christian Center of Fort Worth, a negative COVID test came before anyone could help hand out food.
How does it feel to be able to give back to these folks?
I feel honored. I feel blessed that I'm able to give back to them.
Blessings went both ways. Parrish Jarningan lost his job to the pandemic.
Parrish, if you didn't have a place like this today,
I wouldn't know where I'd be. I'm just being honest.
If he didn't have Americans helping each other out, he doesn't know where he'd be, because the government doesn't give a damn. We don't have Medicare for all because the big pharmaceutical and the healthcare lobbies pay both parties and the media to say we can't afford it. It's not possible. And we have no progressive leadership. I'm sorry. The squad, Bernie, boo. Where are you? Where are you? Just tweeting, giving speeches? It's that thing Jimmy Dore talked about. The Progressive Caucus within Congress should say, we're not voting for Nancy Pelosi unless a bill for Medicare for all, a thing that 75, 80% of Americans want. based on whatever poll. The Fox News poll, that's all, oh, do you want socialized medicine? It's in the 70 percentile. Come on. Richest country in the history of the world. This is all donations. This is all individual Americans donating money and time and food to make this happen. But Congress, Republicans, Democrats, they're going to go on break soon. They're going to have a really great holiday. Are we going to let them have a peaceful holiday? Are we going to let them have a peaceful holiday? We're starving, barely getting by. And they're going to be in their nice houses. Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, all of them. They just going to be hanging out, tweeting out, oh, family and friends. Man, they're going to go to a nice fancy restaurant like the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. All right, folks. Thanks for watching the show. Support what we do. Like, share, subscribe, and shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Ho, 472 people watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the like button. We have 280 likes. Let's get that up to 300. Watch the Yellow Vest live streams. All right, cool. Mutual aid networks, anarchist, libertarian, communism, right? Free food co-ops. I like that. Permaculture, regenerative agriculture, hydroponic farming, and low-tech mushroom and farming for food. Nice. Yeah, grow your own food, folks. That's what it's come down to. Read a couple super chats. Ilhan Omar's husband got $500,000 in so-called COVID relief on RT. They did a segment on it. God, of course. Yeah. Europe dethroned most of its monarchs after World War I. Yeah, we got to get the oligarchs out. All right, let's read some super chats. Maria Renale, what's up, Maria? Making Gotham great again. And Kate, shave your knuckles for justice. Thank you for supporting the show. I'm reading it, The Rats Reform Congress. Yeah, that's read that book. That's Ralph Nader's book. Somebody sent me an autographed copy like a year or so ago. I read it. It's great. Kate, what would be the striking for? Other countries are reaching for a specific thing. We have so many things that the rest of the world are horrified by. Oh, I know. Well, we could just say, like, right now, we could strike for Medicare for all and a UBI and rent relief. Like, we could just want those things. Like, right now, we need rent relief. Not, oh, we'll postpone your eviction and push your back rent down. No, pay it off the way you bail out Wall Street. Do that. And we want Medicare for all. The left has been defeated and the right have become a bunch of bootlickers. Yeah. Hit the like button. 430 people watching, 326 likes. Also support the show by hitting the dollar icon button. It's all rigged. Yes, indeed it is. Also, you can, if you're watching on Rockfin, you can do it. There's a tip feature that they have on Rockfin, which I will. $5,000 stimulus check for everyone, UBI and Medicare for all now. Yep. Yeah, if Germany can turn cool, then America can dig itself out. I know. For the people, there's no bailouts from the sellouts. Yep. What's heaven like, Graham? Gee, I don't know. Haven't been there yet. Yeah. All right, let's do another segment. John Silver, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Jade, thank you for supporting the show. Graham, what would you say if we got a group of hackers to get a hold of these billionaire bank accounts and redistribute the wealth they stole back to the working class? As a kid, watching the animated Robin Hood was one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies. I did a segment on this show back in like February when I still had that, I could use that studio and Ron was with me. And I asked, like, where are all the hacktivists? Where are they? What's going on? Instead of trying to empty working people's bank accounts with some sort of scam, why don't you go after the billionaires? I would love that. Don't rob from regular people. You know, you steal somebody's $500 or $1,000, it's devastating. No, billionaires, they got too much, man. I would love some Robin Hood hacktivists. Love it. Kate, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Ba-boom. Kate is making Gotham great again. Started using the hashtag M for all, primary for you. I love that. I love that, Kate. To describe to reps on how not trying to get us all Medicare for all will get them ousted. Tweeting back to my reps with it. I love it. Yeah, so that's the thing. I did that interview with Jimmy yesterday. I dropped the video today. Watch it again. What he is suggesting, and he's getting all these people involved. Marianne Williamson, Cenk Unger. I mean, just like everybody. Ronna Kalick, I saw, tweeted it out. Is go to your representatives in Congress, especially if you're like one of the squad is your rep, and say, you need to say you're going to withhold your vote for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House unless we get a bill for Medicare for all on the floor. Use your power, Progressive Caucus. Mark Pocan, I just learned his name. None of us knew who he was because that's how secretive the Progressive Caucus is. Keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. Don't flex your muscle. Don't use any leverage. Keep it quiet. So that's what we have to do. It's a great plan. And all of us, I'm pressuring on from the show of Jimmy's like, everybody use your YouTube platform and all of you use your social media. Force them to do this because let's see. Like, and I agree with Jimmy. I don't have a lot of faith this has happened, but I'm going to push it. And I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love it if AOC and Elian and Rashida Tlaib and everybody was like, yep, we're doing this. I would love it. I would love it. It's the only, you got to exert power. This like, don't pressure, don't be too mean to the Democrats because the Republicans are so bad. Oh, shut up. The Democrats are the problem. The Republicans are just flat out evil. They just tell you, oh, we're a bunch of rich, white, racist dicks. They just tell you that. At least you know. The Democrats act like they're your friend. They stab you in the back. They try to sleep with your spouse. And they're just the worst. Borrow your car and smash it up. Leave it back with an empty tank. No, I don't know. I didn't do it. You know, oh, dude, you were drunk. It smells like beer in there. No, it doesn't. I'm your friend. What are you going to let the Republicans drive your car? This is what the lesser of two evils gets you. Threaten to primary them. Get them out of there. Get the Democrats out of there. Tell them to actually do something or get out. It worked for me today. My rep said that their office had gotten 40 calls today about it. She said to call and keep calling. See, it works. They're feeling the pressure. People are hungry and they're pissed off and they saw what happened over the summer and they don't want more of that shit to happen. And they know it's coming. So you got to show them, you got to make them scared that you're going to protest and vote them out and show up outside of their home. If they get to go to their nice families' homes and have a nice break and not pass a stimulus bill and don't give us Medicare for all, make it really. AOC said it. We got to make it uncomfortable for them. Okay, then we need to make it uncomfortable for AOC and the squad unless they start doing their jobs and be actual progressives that pressure the Democratic Party to be more left. Oh, but we got to wait till the midterm. Shut the fuck. I'm so sick of your wait till next year bullshit. I've been hearing this for 30 years. I got people I had a phone call from a liberal friend of mine. Graham, don't be so hard on Trump, or don't be so hard on Joe Biden during the general election this summer. Graham, don't. He goes, stop. I thought he was joking. So don't pressure Joe Biden? Wait till the election, we were told. Okay, Joe Biden won. Now all right, we're going to pull him to the left. No, you wait till they get sworn in. Oh, okay. So then after he's sworn in, wait till the 2022 midterms. Okay. And then after the midterms, wait till 2024. Then his second term. That's like, I keep hearing this shit. No, I'm going to pressure them right now. And so should you. And don't back down. Don't give them your vote. Don't give them your money. Don't follow them on Twitter. Don't give them anything. Unless they actually vote for things that we all need. Medicare for all will save lives and money. The only people that are going to lose money with Medicare for all are the big insurance companies and the big pharmaceutical companies. I want to ask AOC, are you just good at tweeting? Is that all you're going to do? Bernie, now that you back down to your good friend Joe Biden, is that you're just going to be the number one tweeter of all time? Force them. Annabelle Corley, shave your knuckles for justice. American government give you your desperate citizens health care, food, and shelter. Otherwise, you will be sacked and charged with neglect. Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody warned me about Obama too the first time, but I didn't listen. Yeah. Force them. Graham, should I be worried for foreclosure? I'm 7 months into forbearing. I'm so sorry to hear that. I went through that experience. I don't know. I talked to a lawyer and I still ended up losing my home. Try to negotiate with the banks to just cut some of your payments down, like get rid of it. I don't know what. I went through bankruptcy and foreclosure 10 years ago. It was brutal. So I hope that doesn't happen to you. Get as much information as you can. Just know the banks don't give a fuck about you, and the government, Republican, Democrat, they don't care about you. So do what you got to do to protect yourself. You know, if the real estate market is still high where you live, you might think about selling because it's probably going to crash. There's a real estate bubble. So I don't know. But I'm sorry you're going through that. I called both Mark Pocan and AOC, let them both the message about withholding their vote and proving they're actually true progressive. It felt great. Yeah. Let them know. Let them know. 357 likes. Let's get them up there, folks. All right, let's do a segment. Force the vote. Boo, boo. The Dems crash your Nissan Leaf. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Boom. Oh, you come to YouTube for the truth because the corporate media is going to lie and lie and lie and lie and lie, right? Joe Biden, oh, it's so his cabinet's so progressive. And they're doing the same thing Obama did. Oh, it's look at how diverse it is. Women, people of color. But there's no diversity of ideology. There's no diversity of ideology. It's all people that are pro-war, pro-banking, pro-oil, no Medicare for all. We're not going to ban fracking. And that's who's going in his cabinet. Heidi Heitkamp, she gets oil money. All these people with family ties to Epstein. Just awful. And so who's this now? Look how the corporate media covers this. All they talk about is the first ever. Okay, it's significant. The first ever, right? Breaking CNN politics. Breaking. President-elect Joe Biden has selected retired Army General Lloyd Austin to be his Secretary of Defense. The source says, if confirmed, he would be the first black man to lead the Defense Department. See, doesn't that look good? Well, that's progress. That's change. That we're moving forward. A sitting board member of Raytheon should not be Secretary of Defense. Oh, weird. CNN just happened to leave that out. That this guy is a sitting board member of Raytheon. Neera Tanden's on his cabinet, a woman of color. Neera Tanden, if you read WikiLeaks, shows that she's in favor of bombing countries for their resources or taking countries over and selling their resources, getting their oil so we can bomb more people. Just awful. And liberals eat this up. They won't hold Biden accountable. The first ever black man to be Secretary of Defense on a country that outspends the next 10 countries combined. That's not progress. I'm all for diversity and people of color, but there's no pacifists in his cabinet. There's no socialists. There's no labor, people with a strong labor background. There's no pro-environmental people in his cabinet. It's all pro-banking, pro-Wall Street, pro-war. This guy works for Raytheon. Do you think he's going to stop bombing people of color that are poor in the Middle East just because he's black? No. Obama didn't. He dropped more bombs than Bush. Condoleezza Rice, hey, she was the first ever woman of color. She had an oil tanker named after her. Do you see this is the diversity of the ruling class? And this is how they get liberals to vote against their own interests. You see this photo, you see this breaking news, progress. There we go, Joe Biden. He's not perfect, but better. It's just better than Trump. Do you think the people in the Middle East are going to give a damn that they're getting bombed by the first ever black Secretary of Defense? The first ever female black vice president? Do you think people that are being tortured in Guantanamo Bay or other CIA black sites are like, oh, thank God I'm getting tortured by the CIA that now has the first female head of the CIA? This is not change. This is not progress. This is the illusion of progress. If it was like Cornel West was going to be in his cabinet, I'd be like, damn right. Now we're talking. Is Nina Turner? I would love it if Nina Turner was in his cabinet. Nope. Who's going to Surgeon General? Is it going to be Victoria Dooley, who's for Medicare for All, who was a Medicare for All surrogate for Bernie's campaign, who I had on this show? Is she going to be in his cabinet? Absolutely not. She's a black woman who's a doctor who's for Medicare for all. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait, I thought we were all diverse and yay and diversity and no? Oh. And as soon as this gets announced, oh, look at that. House chairman endorses Florida to be Biden's Secretary of Defense nominee. So it's just more war people. Remember when Obama's cabinet was all Goldman Sachs people? Citibank, a leaked memo of Citibank, who they recommended to be in Obama's cabinet, and all of those people were in Obama's cabinet. Like Citibank picked his cabinet. This just keeps happening. You think this is different? That's how they're tricking. Vote any blue will do, people. Big progress. No, we're going to keep bombing poor people. We're going to keep spending money on military while people in America are literally going hungry. 54 million Americans are food insecure because of pandemic. Record lines at food banks. But Congress, the democratically controlled Congress, just approved a $780 war budget that this first black guy is going to be in charge of. Oh, great. To the parents and the family members of the 85,000 dead children in Yemen, a war started under Obama, continued by Trump. Are you celebrating? No. All they see is the American empire. Great. Biden and Harris, they're going to put rainbow flags on all the drones. Man, that's progress. That's such great progress. It's such great progress that our tax dollars that aren't going to feed Americans during an economic shutdown due to a pandemic are going to bomb people even more poor than Americans in countries that won't give up their oil or let us put a pipeline across it. Here's a picture of Steve Mnuchin holding up a wall of money. Right? He was the head of One West Bank, committed mortgage fraud, could have been prosecuted by then Attorney General of the state of California, Kamala Harris. He donated to her AG campaign. She didn't prosecute him. Then he donated to her senatorial campaign. And she voted to nominate him as Secretary of Treasury. Do you think anything's going to change? Why is a Raytheon board member the secretary? Isn't that a conflict of interest? No, it's not. Here's how Raytheon operates. This is Raytheon ad I love showing. Looks like it's some cool tech. Is this a video about traveling, about meeting new people, experiencing different cultures? Nope, it's about war.
We see these beautiful pictures at night from the decks of these two U.S. Navy vessels.
That's all money that could be for schools that Brian Williams is whacking off about.
I am tempted to quote the great Leonard Cohen, I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons.
I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons. Those went to go kill poor people in Syria. That's what he was talking about. When Trump first did his first bombing, active bombing as president, and Fareed Zakaria said, Trump became president today. And Brian Williams said, oh, I'm guided by the... When you were dancing in the streets when Biden was named the winner, was it just because you needed something to cheer about? Okay. Did you realize you were cheering for Raytheon? Raytheon is running the Defense Department. Remember when Rex Tillerson was named Secretary of State? He's a former Exxon. So Exxon was running the State Department. Raytheon's running the Defense Department. I can't watch the video anymore. But you know what else is on Raytheon's page? Oh, they give money to the Girl Scouts. Yeah. So when next time you go buy Thin Mints, know that they're now being groomed as sort of the Girl Scouts aren't just like empowering young girls to be strong women and leaders in their community. No, now they're just a paramilitary organization. But look, Rising to the challenge, Girl Scouts across the country test their cyber skills. This is from Raytheon's website. It's diverse. All this money and technology could be spent to end hunger, to end climate collapse. Who's the number one polluter of the world? The United States military. Nothing is going to change. Joe Biden said it. Nothing is fundamentally going to change. And you know who's ecstatic about that? Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman. Did you know that the CEOs of all the major bomb makers basically are all women? That's such great diversity. That's what we need. Again, I'm not against women or people of color being in any of these positions. We need to get rid of this. The solution is not to put a woman as head of the CIA. The solution is to get rid of the CIA. The solution is not to put the first black man in the Defense Department. Why don't we have a Department of Peace? Why don't we have somebody who's a whole department, federally funded, whose job it is to sow peace around the world? We don't do that. We bomb it so Brian Williams can, A, lie about riding in a Black Hawk because he's a punk. I've actually been on a bunch of them, Brian. I didn't have to lie about it. So you think the media, that's why CNN did that. So, oh, they don't talk about that he's from Raytheon. You have to go to Twitter and then this show to find out about it. Why? I show you this all the time. The White House, the CIA, and the Pentagon feed stories to these three agencies who then feed it down here. There's CNN. What comes through this filter? Don't mention he's on Raytheon's board. Maybe they'll mention it just briefly in the story, but they won't say this is a severe conflict of interest. No. Our government is just a joke. It's just a joke. It is just a kleptocracy run by oligarchs. Raytheon's going to run the Defense Department, guys. The Surgeon General will probably be somebody picked by Pfizer or whatever, you know. Unreal. That's what the lesser of two evils gets you. When you keep voting for the lesser of two evils, you get Raytheon in the Defense Department. But Americans, we don't see this war. We don't see drone strikes on our soil. So we don't care. 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 I don't know what it's going to take to wake people up. When we start drone striking our own citizens? We bombed people in Philadelphia in 1984. Finally, the city of Philly finally owned to that. What's it going to take? People protesting in the streets because they've been evicted and they're hungry and the government's give them no money. And then they're going to rise up. And so the government's going to send drone strikes. Is that when you go, oh, wow, maybe we shouldn't let Raytheon run the Defense Department? When real lefty progressives like me on this show were all screaming, no, Joe Biden. I don't want Joe Biden. I don't want Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris dropped out before Iowa. Joe Biden had no one at the Iowa caucuses. Nobody was caucusing for him in Iowa. They made him president because he's good for business. The first this and the first that. Neera Tanden. Oh, God, these are awful people. These are awful people. I'm glad you come to this show to get the facts because CNN is going to feed you a bunch of bullshit. Any of your friends or family that watch CNN or MSNBC, and they're all doing high fives and black backflips about, oh, finally real change is coming. It is window dressing. Identity politics is window dressing so that the military industrial complex can keep making trillions of dollars. We've been in Afghanistan for 19 years. Imagine if we had that money for our own country. Instead, tent cities. Instead, food lines miles long. Today, right now, not the 1930s, today. All right. Thanks, everybody. Lesser two evils is still evil. And Raytheon is fucking evil. And this general, he's going to do evil shit because he's going to bomb. He's paid to bomb. He'll make money from bombing. Joe Biden will make money from bombing. Kamala will make money from bombing. Neera Tanden will make money from bombing. And your tax dollars will go to kill people, poor people, people of color. If you're all about diversity, are you okay with all these poor people of color getting their life destroyed? And that's money that could be helping Americans. You run a small business. Did you get a PPP loan? No. You lost your business already? Oh, well, Raytheon got money. Tom Brady bought a yacht. So there you go. USA, USA, USA. Jesus. Shave your knuckles for justice. $450 died people watching. 407 likes. I love it. Let's read some super chats. Mark Dansky, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. First time here, JD sent me power B to you. Thank you so much. If you're coming over from the Jimmy Dore Show, please hit the subscribe button. They've been unsubscribing me at an alarming rate. So, and if you can just get all of the Jimmy Dore viewers, he's got 800,000 subscribers. If we could get them to come over to subscribe to this show, we could get me over 100,000 subscribers. That's the goal. Get over 100,000 subscribers, right? That's a big landmark. So make sure you're subscribed, even if you have in the past, because YouTube is unsubscribing people. And when you're in the chat of the Jimmy Show, say, everybody go subscribe to Graham Elwood. Just quick click, boom. It takes no time. It's free, ba-boom, and it really helps. Annalise Garcia, Shaving Knuckles for Justice, getting $150 a week in unemployment. Oh, have $200 in savings, and unemployment is ending in 3 weeks. I'm angry, scared, and at mercy of criminal government. Time for a general strike. Oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. She's got a show. Make sure you support it. And folks, if money is tight, I totally get if you can't do a super chat. Here's some great ways to support the show. Like, subscribe, share the videos, watch the ads on YouTube all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Go sign up to Rockfin. That's free to sign up. Rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Follow me on Twitter at Graham Elwood. Oh God, this is just such a bummer. I'm so sorry. Like what's coming. And we got to work together. We got to help each other out. Like, help your neighbors out, help each other out, because the government doesn't give a damn about us. And yeah, we need a general strike, and we need it now. Annabelle Corley, what's up down under in beautiful Melbourne? Your beautiful Western Australia opened up to its international border yesterday. Time to plan that surfing game show host Aussie tour. Special guest star Ron, my toast won't come up. Placone. Is that really true? Because I went to the Australian government's travel website and they said no international travel on the government's website yesterday. But Western Australia is open? Shit, man. I'll go to Perth. I don't care. I'll live in WA. I don't care. I will do that. Just have Jimmy tell his audience he's not starting the show until Graham gets 100,000 subscribers. You'll have it in a few minutes. That's a great idea. Nico Moldaloa, what's up? You're making Gotham great again. My stupid company just merged with my stupid Raytheon. Oh, Jesus. Definitely want to quit, but bills. I get it, man. I get it. That's the whole system. We're all trapped in this system. We got to work. And the only jobs available are like either shitty minimum wage jobs. If you want a job with good benefits, you got to work for these big companies like Raytheon or Amazon or whatever. I make comments about how our company makes money killing poor people to try to open people's eyes. Yeah, man. I understand everything, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. I really do. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Some words have to look, but the think tanks you want to hit up are Rand, American Heritage, the top of my head, John Birch. There's one to subscribe to now, but I forget I'm drinking. Read, listen, liberal. Build Back Better was the project name of the Clinton Foundation's grift, collecting charity for rebuilding Haiti after the 2010 earthquake. Now it's used as a slogan for a pandemic. God, Jesus. We need to start a GoFundMe to buy a ship to move all Australia's toaster to New Zealand. As Americans, we are all part of a Wall Street's evil empire in some form or another. However, we can struggle to redeem ourselves through class struggle against capitalist imperialism. That's right. YouTube is Google owned, I know. Merged. Yeah. Adam Gray. Rebecca Jones needs our help. Spread the word. Mutual aid. Yeah, I just heard about that Rebecca Jones thing. I know Jimmy was talking about it on his show. She got arrested today. He did a whole segment on it. So I know Jimmy and I, we cover some of the same stuff. We overlap, but I don't always want to just, cover what he's covering. And he got on it. So yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts what's happening. They drew a gun on our kids. It's just like insane. We live in an insane country. Yes, progressives and Trump supporters will align. I hope so. I hope people wake up. It's class warfare. Hope the Trump supporters realize socialism isn't Stalin era communism. I hope they realize that. 438 likes. Boom, boom. Kate, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. I was going to research the Clintons in Haiti and gave up because I know I would stop. Disgusted, wondering why no one was caught for whatever it was. Oh, it's awful. And there's ties to, child trafficking out of there. And they built a hotel. They didn't help the Haitian people. The Clintons are the worst people. The Clintons are the worst people. They're awful. Their whole thing was just to be just a millimeter to the left of the Republicans. They're just awful. EU laughs that Americans don't think they're worth health care. I know. Modern nomad. I know. It's insane. Yeah, we talked about Rebecca Jones is the scientist in Florida that we were talking about. Everyone, please read The Divide, American Injustice in the Age of the Wealth Gap. Can all the manipulators of the world be healed? No, we just need to get them out of power. Boycott Amazon, stop shopping for crap, plant food, and swap stuff with each other. Ditch the capitalist aspirations, organize your neighborhoods. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. There's some things we just got to do. And we got to get out of the capitalist system as best we can. I know it's tough. We all use it. We all use technology and stuff. But like, I started to get into cryptocurrency. And I have... This summer, when Bitcoin started to go up, I took some of it and I paid off my bank debt. I have no more bank debt. I am out of the central bank's debt. I moved most of my accounts over to credit unions. I still have some with Wells Fargo, but most of my money now is in credit unions. I would strongly suggest that. And learn about cryptocurrency. Really learn as much as you can about it. I'm new to it. I've been studying it about 6 months or so, but I'm already learning it's decentralized. And it's why they're so afraid of it. It's why they're so afraid of it. I started using Coinbase, which is a very simple entry-level exchange, but I'm learning it's highly regulated. The IRS is involved. So I'm learning about other exchanges to use. And as like BitMEX and FEMEX or Binance, but the American government is preventing Americans from using certain exchanges. They don't want Americans using crypto. They don't want Americans using Bitcoin because Bitcoin empowers people. It empowers people. So I highly recommend do your own research. Watch if you're brand new to crypto and Bitcoin. Watch Bitcoin.com. There's Bitcoin 101. Then follow these shows. Okay? Crypto Casey, Altcoin Daily, The Moon. Watch those shows for now. And you'll get turned on to other shows. But watch Boom Bust. These are all on YouTube. And like Crypto Casey is this young woman who talks. She's very knowledgeable. And she's got great videos on which cold wallets and hot wallets. And you're like, what does that mean? Watch these videos and learn more about them. Empower yourself. Get out of their money. That's why I like grow your own food. Get into digital, cryptocurrencies. Pay attention so that we are out of the thumb of them. They're trying to collapse the economy because every time these boom bust cycles are designed, they're designed, the central banks, the Federal Reserve, the IMF, it's by design so that they can crush regular people and take their money. That's what the CARES Act was about. So we just have to pay more attention, folks. I've done some videos on it. I'm learning more about it. I will pass that information along to you, but do your own research. Even put a little, just a couple $100 to try it out, right? I moved all my money off of Coinbase to a cold wallet, and you keep a little bit of money on exchanges if you're going to be like trading or whatever, but pay it to get knowledgeable, pay attention, learn about this. This is why they're so afraid. They're so afraid of specifically Bitcoin. It was designed by this person, Satoshi. It could be one person, could be numerous people. Some people believe Satoshi was NSA because it has all these things in it that prevent the central banks from taking it over. It's blockchain, right? And everyone's like, what? I was like, what is this Bitcoin? It sounds like nonsense, crazy to me. Everyone thinks that way when they first come across it. Don't feel bad. Don't be like, oh, I don't know. I didn't get this at all. I didn't get it at all. And I'm just barely scratching the surface. But as I learn more about it, I'm going to pass it along to you. Right? Again, I do have a Coinbase affiliate link, but I'm learning more that Coinbase is highly regulated. They're like PayPal. They can seize your stuff. It's great, just entry level if you just want to put a couple $100 and kind of get used to it. But again, do more research. I'm doing more research about more exchanges. And I watch these people that know a lot more than I do. Like the shows I just listed. Altcoin Daily, Crypto Casey, The Moon, Bitcoin.com literally has a Bitcoin 101 playlist that just walks you through it. Okay? And that's what we need to do to get out of their grip. Thanks for watching Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Boom. Yeah, if oil's pricing Bitcoin, game over. Like, the best way to explain Bitcoin to people is say it's just digital gold. There's only 21 billion coins made. Every 7 years they have them, meaning they cut them in half. So gold is a finite resource, right? You can't make more of it. That's what Bitcoin is. And there's all these other currencies that are different, just like there's the dollar and the yen and the euro and the Aussie dollar and the peso and whatever else. And people are like, yeah, but it's based on nothing. Like, well, your US dollars are digital. It's all in the bank. Your bank loans it out at a rate of 10-1. So the banks do not have all of everyone's money in cash. They've loaned it out. So that's why they get worried about a run on the banks when everyone goes, shit. And then everyone goes to the banks to pull their money out and there isn't enough. So you had $5,000 in the bank. They're going to say, oh, you only get 500. Michael Williams, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. People need to stop thinking of Medicare for All or Social Security as a government gift. That's your money. You pay for this. They owe it to you. That's a great way to put it, Michael. It's a great way to put it. Played football in high school with a guy named Mike Williams. Very funny dude. Yeah, that's the way you put it. It's not the government paying for it. That's our money. That's our tax money. I want my tax money to give me Medicare and better schools, not bombing poor people. That's what I want my tax dollars to do. Demand it. It's our money. Demand it. Libya, Honduras, we will never forget Hillary. Yeah. Sam Dean, what's up, brother? Let's try this. Since the start of the pandemic, what are the few things you're most proud of Americans for? It's never all doom and gloom, mate. Shave your knuckles for justice. I'm proud of watching Americans work together since we've been so abandoned by our government. I've seen people really try to help each other out. Americans, we're bred to be kind of selfish, but I've seen some people really try to help each other out. Like that kid in the video that I show, that 5th grader, that's like this, we got to help each other out. People are hungry. When it all first went down and there was a shortage of PPE, and I saw this guy in Texas was like making ventilators in his garage and shipping them to the East Coast. And I was like, yeah, that's the best part of America. That's the part of America that I want to see. That's the part of America that is so deliberately discouraged. And that's the way a lot of Americans view themselves is we work together and get it done, and we're the greatest nation ever. That's why they work. That American exceptionalism is a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. Look what the whole country got together in World War II, right? So they do a very brilliant job to propagandize to keep us divided. So there's that. But I won't go into all that. So you want to keep it positive. So there's that. I mean, seeing like these like high school girls in LA sewing masks and giving them to people and delivering food. I saw these 2 like teenage girls. It was some human interest story in LA. 2 teenage girls were like delivering food to senior citizens or people, at-risk people when the pandemic started. And that is really amazing to see that. All the protests around George Floyd, I mean, I was at some of them and it was powerful. And people were really like, let's get some change, when they were pulling down the Christopher Columbus statues and people were saying, no, we're not doing this. Seeing people at those protests, and a lot of them young people, getting the shit kicked out of them, shot with rubber bullets, tear gas, beaten, and then showing up the next day, like not backing down. I was like, fuck yeah. It gave me a lot of faith in the youth, really, of this country. I was like, damn, they're kicking ass. They ain't having it. That was a lot of the good that I saw. People, especially the younger people, just calling themselves, I'm a socialist. I'm done with capitalism. That gets me excited. And every time I come across some story about some like new technology or something that's going to help the environment, I get excited about that. And I have hope for that. That's a great question, Sam. That's what happened during the Depression. Yeah, people working together. Nico Multaloa, what's up? I was thinking about pulling my entire 401k and cashing in my PTO and putting most of it in Bitcoin, XRP, and need to research some other alternative investments. I definitely need to prepare more for the economic collapse. Yeah, I mean, do your own research and come your own. This is not a financial advice, so I'm just telling you, I would put, and even big institutional money, they're putting like 5% of their money in there. Some people 10%, but like I'd put at least 3 to 5% of my money in Bitcoin. Maybe some other cryptos, maybe I have Ethereum. I have Bitcoin and Ethereum and the Ray token, the Rockfin one. But I'd put it in Bitcoin because it's finite and it's going to go up. I would just put a little, even just 3% of your money in there just to hedge your bets, because the economic collapse and they're going to come after people's pensions and it's going to be brutal. I was in America in 2018, and I still remember how courteous, helpful, and welcoming I was made to feel. Oh, that warms my heart. Yeah. I hear nothing about any of the protesting anymore. Is it still happening? Yeah, there was a Black Lives Matter protest in LA the other day, and the cops, of course, beat the shit out of people again. Still happening. It's just not, everyone's not jumping on it. It's still happening. 456 likes. Nima Piazar, boom. Do you like Che Guevara? He was pretty brutal, man. He did some brutal stuff. He was basically like Castro's button man. So when he's revered, I'm always like, because he did that thing. They took down the ruling class oligarchs, and then they were brutal leaders. That's why I'm like always more in favor of peaceful, nonviolent resistance, because it's like violence begets more violence. And then I've seen people uprise for noble reasons, and then throughout history, and then they're in power, and then they just start brutalizing people. So I'm a little more critical of Che Guevara. Leopard, shave him for justice. Can you get Jen Brinney on the show sometime? Oh my God, I love Jen. I had her on the show like 2 years ago. And she does that great show, Congressional Dish, where she just unpacks bills. Oh man, I've had her on the show a couple of times. I haven't talked to her in forever. Thank you for reminding me. I'll reach out to her and get her on the show because she's great. She does deep dives, man. Oh, thank you for suggesting that. Yeah, Jen's fantastic. Capitalism is a death cult. Yes, it is. Is Graham becoming a libertarian? The union movement in the USA was violent. Not all political violence is bad, and peaceful protests don't always work. No, I know. I understand that. But I understand that. You got to also understand that I have a YouTube show, and if I advocate for anything like that in any way, shape, or form, I can get locked up. Yeah, I'd love to have Katie help. I texted her a couple weeks ago, and she's like, yeah, come on. I'm like, what about these dates? And then I never heard back. Come on, Katie. Come on, Katie. I did the 2 segments. All right, folks. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. You love my interview with Tiffany Fitzhenry. Yeah, that was a really good interview about a year ago. We're talking about, yeah, she did some deep dive stuff. If you want to learn about Cuba, read Saul Landau. All right. You missed my super chat. All right, Adam, let me go back and see. I'm sorry if I missed it. Boo, 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 boo. Adam Gullock, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. People aren't seeing the death tolls and body bags coming home every night on the nightly news anymore, like they did during Vietnam. That's the issue. Oh, yeah. And that's by design, too, because that's one of the reasons the Vietnam War, there was such heavy protests, is because every night on the news, they'd watch the body bags, they'd watch Vietnamese, children and civilians getting hurt. And people were like, what are we doing there? So they said, no, we don't see it anymore. That's why we saw what was happening in Yemen every day, what our bombs did every day. Americans be like, what are we doing? So we're deliberately not showing it. We're giving some distraction. Oh, Trump said this, or Kim Kardashian is in love with blah, blah, whatever. Some Kanye West. What did he like? There's always some nonsense Real Housewives of Dumbtown distraction. That's why when you say, we're bombing 7 countries, people go, oh, wow. Wow. That's, Obama dropped more bombs than Bush. Yeah. It wasn't perfect. Wasn't perfect? Okay. So. Harry C. Smith, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Total U.S. medical debt, $81 billion. Pentagon spends $2.5 billion every day to blow up brown people. 1 month of defense spending could clear all U.S. medical debt. 1 month. We just stopped bombing for a month. We could pay off medical debt. Just a month. Just take a month off from bombing. And we could take away their medical debt. And they're pumping us up for another boom bust. Another bust is coming so they can scoop up more profit. The bust, that's built into the system. That's how evil and horrific capitalism is. What kind of an economic system has by design collapses in it? What? I'm an architect, and by design, every 10, 12 years, my buildings collapse because it's good for business. Then I build another one. What? Wait, what? I own a professional sports team, and by design, I want us to just collapse and be awful. Wait, what? Why would you? Capitalism is so great. It has built-in collapses in it. Great system. Really good system. Really, really good system. House the homeless, absolutely. Yeah, but who's going to come home in those body bags, Graham? Senators' kids? Absolutely. Yeah. If we had medical benefits free, why join the military? Yeah, that's another thing. You see how by design it is. The only way to get your college paid for or your medical benefits is to join the military? Crazy. All right, folks. I got to get going. My voice is getting a little shot. Did a lot of talking yesterday. 472 likes. Let's get it up to 500. Let's do it. 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 Adam Gluck. The bust is designed so they can gentrify harder. Oh yeah, that's the bust is what it's all about. People go belly up so they can buy up property, gentrify. And this time now, thanks to the CARES Act, it's designed to scoop up your businesses. The big corporations are going to get bailed out. Tom Brady got $960,000 for his nutrition company, and he bought a yacht with it. But they're hoping your little small mom and pop business goes out. So they want it to just all be chain corporate restaurants, and that's what they're going to do. Snatch it up. That's what they did 10 years ago with the housing market. Only now they're going to do it with commercial real estate and businesses and every homes, everything. It's by design so they can snatch and take more. They just can't get enough. These evil, sadistic, soulless motherfuckers. That's what they do. That's what they do. They're awful people. This is the lesser of two evils. It's still evil. You vote for the lesser two evils. You're still making a deal with the devil, man. And then you're shocked when it all goes south. Man. Thanks, Graham. Good work and good collaborations. Keep it up. Thank you. All right, folks, it's getting late. Oh, vegan guns are tired. Boom, 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 boom. I will go live again tomorrow night, immediately following the Jimmy Dore show. And I think I'm going to come on the end of it with Steph. Boom, 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 boom. Thursday, I'm going to bring back on the show Rosie Tran, who was the first person I had on the show to directly talk about cryptocurrency. She's talking about this new stable coin bill that's being put in there by the squad of all people. That is just another way America does not want you buying Bitcoin and getting out of the banking. They want you a bank slave. They want you indebted. They want you to have a credit card. They want you to have your money in big banks. They want you to have a low wage, shitty job. So you have to go into debt. They want you to have a car loan. That's what they want you to have. Credit cards, car loans, and you got to work round the clock to just keep your head above water. That's what they want. They don't want you going into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you don't need a bank. I don't need a bank with Bitcoin. If I got Bitcoin, we can just deal with each other. You're selling something online, I can just go Bitcoin. I don't need PayPal. I don't need anything. See? So we're going to have her on the show. Thank you, everybody. Free Assange, absolutely. I like to give cold cash to people who are without heat in home. It makes me feel good, even if it's just a cup of coffee or a bottle of water. Yeah, I know. Yeah, shop local, support small businesses. If you can, help out at a food bank, help people out. If you know someone that's not working, try to give them a little job if you are. So I've hired a couple people that I know are not working. I can't give anybody big full-time work, but I try. So just donated a bunch of canned food, a bunch of dry and canned food to a bunch of food banks right before Thanksgiving. I'll do some more before Christmas. Do what you can. Help each other out. The current bus cycle has barely started. It's a freaking cliff edge we're standing on, and 3 billion people just broke a heel. I know. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. Thanks, everybody. So wonderful. Reach out and say hello on social media. Free Assange, absolutely. And Russia tried to join NATO and the EU, and oh God, thank you, Kate. Thanks, Kate, our moderator. Thanks, everybody. Let's sing a song. Let's end on a fun song. How about what's a fun song to end on? Good night, everyone. Good night, Grab. Thank you, Kat. Thank you. Peace out. All right, let's do a song. Good night, Elizabeth. Good night, Concerned. November Rain. Nobody important. That's for lighting up Barry Weiss that one time. Nice. Robin Hood Fox Animals was great. The powder is dry. Absolutely. Love Shack is Shatner. Oh, that sounds fun. Love Shack is Shatner. Yeah, let's do that. These Mountain Dew ads where the fucking Mountain Dew is inside the horse. It just makes no sense to me. If you see a faded sign at the side of the road that says 15 parsecs to the Love Shack baby, William Shatner, Captain James C. Kirk. I got me a car and it's as big as a whale, and we're heading down the Love Shack at Warp Factor 5. I got me a Chrysler and it seats about 20, so beam up and bring your jukebox money. Set your phasers for fun. The Love Shack baby. Oh, that's where it's at. Sign says, stay away, fools. You Klingon bastard, you killed my son. Because love rules at the Love Shack. And it's just a little shack. Glitter on the mattress. Glitter on the highway. Glitter on the front porch. Glitter on the hallway, Mr. Scott. I need more glitter in your fire.
to live and love. The Love Shack baby. Love Shack. That's where it's at. Love Shack, that's where it's at. Hugging and a kissing, dancing, and a loving. We're next to nothing because it's hot as an oven. The whole shack shimmies when everybody's moving around and around and around. Folks lining up just outside just to get down. Stepping off to Eden, yay, brother. Funky little shack, funky bones, it's a funky little shack. Hopping by Chrysler, and it is as big as a whale, and it is about to set sail where no man has boldly gone before on a 5-year mission of love shacking. Bring your jukebox money. Your love shack is a little old place where we can get together, where the Klingons and the Federation can live as one in peace and unity. Love Shack. Love Shack, baby. Love, baby, that's where it's at. Bang, bang on the door, baby. Knock a little louder. Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby. I can't hear you. Bang, bang on the door, baby. Bang, bang on the door, baby. Bang, bang on the door. Your what? Tin roof rusted. Live long and prosper. Love, baby, that's where it's at. Of all the souls I've ever known, his was the most human. Hey, everybody. Shatner Karaoke. I'm the only indie journalist that sings karaoke at the end. I'm the only one that does it. Nobody else can do it. That's why you come here. Truth, facts, vegan guns, shaved knuckles, and Shatner Karaoke. I do other characters that sing karaoke. Whoa. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the show. Thank you, everybody watching over on the Rockfin. Really appreciate it. Miss Callie, Independent Left News, Benjamin Arashi. Hello. Thank you, everybody over on Facebook. Thank you so much. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Good night, Cat B. Make mindful. What's up? Haha. Yeah. Hello. Elizabeth, Adam, right on. Note to self, help Graham open more doors to his musical sensibility. Adios and buenos noches, mi amigos and amigas. Boa noite. Yeah, that's the show. Thanks for watching. I will put the archive of this up on Patreon at the $10 level. Support the show at patreon.com/Graham Elwood. Also, the archive of the show will go up on rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. For $10 a month on Rockfin, you get all the access to all my premium content and everybody's premium content on the whole platform. It's blockchain. It's cryptocurrency. It is the future. They don't censor me. They don't fucking give me copyright strike. Do whatever the fuck I want on Rockfin. So we'll see you tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in, shave your knuckles for justice, and find out, will the ruling class meet its match? Tune in tomorrow night on the Political Vigilante. Shaboom.